And welcome to part two of the Haymakers bold prediction / hot takes. We just finished off the first half of the NFL, and now it's on to the second half. And we are going to be starting with me. And now, remember, we're gonna dial back to the AFC East. Now, remember, I said that I think the Bills will finish second in the AFC East, but miss the playoffs. The team that I have winning the division is the New York Jets. And not only that, they will make it to the AFC Championship round with Tyrod Taylor.
Oh!
Yep. They're like I have a prediction that Aaron Rodgers is going to be healthy for half the season. But then because honestly, the Jets' strength of schedule, I know they're right. I think tied for 12th as far as their strength of schedule. But looking at those first set of games up until that bye week, it's actually a pretty easy ride because they have week 2 they have the Titans, week 3 week 3 and 4 they're home against the Patriots and the Broncos. I could see them winning against the Bills at home. And then a couple. Yeah, honestly, they can sweep the Patriots. They have the Texans, the Cardinals, and the Colts. The real hard games are going to be San Francisco, the Steelers, both and both Bills games. They have an easy ride up until that bye week, but then comes the gauntlet. They have the Seahawks. They have the Seahawks. The Dolphins, the Jags, and then the Rams and the Bills again. It's that last half where I think that okay, something's gonna happen there where they're gonna have to need Tyrod. So maybe something happens in that Miami game away. So that's gonna be where they realize like if Aaron gets hurt, Tyrod's gonna be the one that's gonna take him into the playoffs. So again, this is all assuming that Aaron Rodgers stays healthy for a good chunk of it.
Not out of the realm of possibility.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that was a masterful twist that nobody could have seen coming.
What, the Tyrod Taylor thing?
Yeah. Because I thought it was just gonna be Aaron Rodgers takes to the playoffs. Woohoo! What a great comeback story. Like he's gonna go on Pat McAfee and award himself the Presidential Medal of Honor. But no, it's cooler than that.
Yes, I made my hot take cool.
So,
yes.
So
what's your excuse, Leah?
see, my hot take is going to be something everyone will love, and it actually ties into to Voice's hot take.
Oh God, is it involving the Patriots and the Dolphins? Tell me which one.
The New England Patriots will go 0-17.
Oh yes, I'm all in on this.
I mean, like, look at the schedule. Pick someone who you think they can comfortably beat.
I haven't looked at the schedule, but no one.
No
one is the answer.
The Bears and Indy.
I think Indy's going to be kind of good this year.
I think the only two teams I have them being 3 teams. I need
to go through my thing and figure out the records.
Yeah, I think I have them being the worst in the AFC, but I don't think they're going to be worse overall. Because I had them
originally this hot take was they will lose more games than they did last year, which is 4. They only won 4 games. And then I looked at their schedule and I was like, wait a minute, who do I see them comfortably beating? And it was like, no one. No one. Okay, I'll go with the hotter take of them just not winning at all, which would be hilarious considering they have a new coach this year.
Yeah, that was the thing that I was going to ask. If they go winless, does Gerard Mayo get fired?
Oof.
They're
not supposed to be able to survive that.
I don't know.
See, here's the thing. I don't know if he'd get fired or not because of the sole fact that he can very easily just go, "Oh, I'm adopting the hoodies team. I need time to build. I need time to rebuild this team."
Sure.
And
It would be interesting.
yeah, and Drake May is a project.
Mm.
So
I don't think he's starting week 1. It's probably going to be Jacoby Brissett.
yeah.
There is enough reasons that I could see them going, yeah, even if he does go like 0-17, of saying getting like one more year, but he has to do decently well like next year.
Yes.
All right. Okay, so Nikki, your next take.
This is gonna. I don't know how people are gonna feel about this. I think Tua's gonna get MVP votes. Like he's gonna be in the running. Like, I think this is finally the year where it all gets put together. Like, he has the best receiving core he's ever had. He's gotten time to develop with his offense, and like we saw last year games where like that Miami offense was just unstoppable. And I think that that's gonna finally translate into Tua like
click. Everything's gonna just click together and start working properly. As long as no one gets hurt.
Which, like, you know, coming into last season, that was Tua's big concern, his injury record, and he stayed healthy all season long. So, yeah.
Okay. All right. So now for my hot takes. We haven't really talked about coaches at all in this entire thing, and I am making my first.
I think I mentioned Antonio Pierce, but that's about it.
Yes, but I'm making my first bold prediction regarding a coach, and that's regarding the New York Football Giants. And Brian Daboll will be the first coach fired.
Oh,
fair. If they have another year like they did last year, fair.
Didn't he just win Coach of the Year like 2 years ago?
He won it 2 years ago.
Oh man. Like it's gonna become like the NBA Coach of the Year award, where it's just a kiss of death.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, like as much as I think like I'm blanking out. I'm trying to get my words out. As much as I think the Commanders are going to be bad, I think the Giants are going to be much worse. This like everything is just pointing downwards for this team, especially because as of recording this video, their throwback uniforms came back, and oh god, my eyes hurt.
It makes me want to throw back my lunch. Up top.
Yeah, just type in New York Giants century jerseys.
Yeah.
Back.
It's bad. It genuinely looks like some hockey team. I want to say the Montreal Canadiens. Which
no, it's more like the Blue Jackets.
Okay. Okay, so I'm looking at first coach fired odds.
The Century Red one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, it does look like the Montreal Canadiens jersey. As the resident hockey person, yeah, that's the Montreal Canadiens! What the fuck?
I do know a little bit about hockey. I retract my earlier statement. Okay, so I'm looking at first coach fired odds. Right now, at the top of the list is Robert Saleh of the Jets at plus 350. Then it's Matt Eberflus at plus 450. Mike McCarthy at plus 500. Dennis Allen is a steal at plus 700. Like, he would be my bet for this one. And then Nick Sirianni, Kevin O'Connell, and then finally in seventh place is Brian Daboll at plus 1,500.
Well, I'll put money on that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at it.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go. I'm not wrong.
You just slap the Giants logo in the middle instead of the number, and it's the exact same jersey.
Uh,
I'm angry.
Well, we'll cure that with a hot take.
How can I?
Oh, yeah, it's your
cure
turn.
this? How
Yes.
can I? Oh! The Baltimore Ravens will have a mid to average year, despite the fact that Lamar Jackson has built the entire team around him and his playstyle.
Ooh,
Well, I mean,
interesting.
the team's built it around Lamar's play style, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, the team has built the team around his playstyle and what he needs, and it's not going to help him. He's not going to win MVP. He's not going to make the. He might make the playoffs, but not going to win in them.
Interesting.
And this will lead to one or two things. One, either Lamar will self-retire because he'll realize, damn it, I can't win even when everything is going my way. It's better to retire now before people start realizing it. And
You
if
forget
I'm
that
realizing it,
money.
I mean, yeah, money. Or he's just going to play average for the rest of his contract.
I think it's more likely that there's like Lamar Jackson trade talks because he just signed a big old contract.
He signed a big old contract and he's gotten whatever he wants as far as the team is concerned, as far as like who's playing and all that kind of stuff. And like, if he says, oh, we need this piece, like, it happens.
They went out and got him.
Yeah. Not necessarily the exact, like, he doesn't say, oh, I want this particular player. He's like, hey, we need better receivers. Or, hey, our own.
So they got Odell Beckham.
But yeah, like Lamar Jackson isn't gonna get an MVP this year. There's much better players than him. He's getting old. It like his team. How to put this? Let me look at his division again. Like
it's the Steelers, the Browns, and the Bengals.
Yeah.
See, I could see him winning the North, but that doesn't guarantee him a good spot in the playoffs or winning in the wild card.
Right. So you're thinking like like the Ravens like limp into the 4 spot, like and like get bopped by the best wild card team.
Or even a decent wild card team.
Well, that would require him to finish higher in or like the Ravens would finish 3rd in the AFC.
Oh yeah, no, because there's a couple of AFC teams that he could be better at, like, but then there's also a lot of other teams that, like, he's very much not. His team is very much not better than. And I think did they go all in this year? It feels like it for some reason. I don't know why.
It's I said what I said.
All right, yes, you're up.
Okay, so next up I have the Minnesota Vikings. Oh, good, I get to talk about these guys. These guys are going to be bad.
All right.
These guys are going to be big, stinky doo-doo garbage.
Are we going to be ending off with just these teams are bad?
No.
No.
Big, stinky doo-doo garbage. I said what I said. And my hot take is that we are going to be under a deluge of Justin Jefferson trade rumors all season long.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're going to be running with either Sam Darnold or JJ McCarthy as their starting quarterback. You think that Justin Jefferson's going to want to stick around for that?
No.
I wouldn't.
I would.
Like, get me on a first class flight to anywhere else. Like, I bet Carolina would part with two firsts for him.
Well,
Because at least Bryce Young has like potential.
right.
Like, I think that the Vikings are going to start off the year like 1-6, and by the time the trade deadline rolls around, people are just like we're getting new reports like every other day. Like, oh, the Bills are inquiring about Justin Jefferson. Oh, the Panthers are inquiring. The Saints are inquiring. Blah 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 blah. Any team that needs a receiver is going to be like, hey yo, you up?
All right. Okay, well, you mentioned the Panthers.
Ah,
Time for my take on the Panthers.
segue.
Yep. My take on the Panthers is that nothing's changed. They are still the worst in the league.
Oh no.
Yeah, they will.
Fair.
They will still have. I know. Leah, you said that New England have an 0-17 record, but I still have them winning a couple. I'll have them winning one more game than the Panthers.
Oh man, the Panthers
So
are
the
gonna
Panthers will
break
go 0-17.
him. Dude, if we have two teams go 0-17, I will eat this microphone.
I mean, I,
Is
let me double check, but I think that is possible.
Yes, it is possible. Because if the Patriots are bad because they don't play each other. So yeah, it is possible for two teams to go 0-17 this year.
I would laugh
That-
my ass off if that happened.
Like, now that makes me want to conduct an experiment to see how many teams could possibly go 0-17 in one season. Because the theoretical maximum is 8. Like, one in each division. But they would also have to not play any of the other 0-17 teams. That'd be a fun little math experiment.
Yeah, you'd have to go through like each team's schedule and then like assuming that you'd assume that team A always wins.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Now I'm doing the math in my head. That would actually be a really fun math experiment to do.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm like
We're like the
I'm-
only two people in the world who would be like, ooh, fun math.
Yes.
Oh, jeez. But yeah, Panthers are still going to be awful. They're still going to have the. Actually, they probably would have the number one pick. Again.
Like, if that happens, if they like win less than 2 or 3 games again this season, they are going to Tim Couch him. Like, they are going to break his spirit. And that's going to be sad.
Yeah.
As a fringe fan of a division rival of the Panthers, like, I don't want to see that.
Yeah. Sorry, this got a little depressing, but that is my that's my take.
So speaking of bad teams being bad,
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
the LA Rams.
Oh, they're not going to be bad, are they?
Yeah, they're gonna get bad
Why are they going to be bad?
because everyone around them's better.
Okay, so your take is my take with the Seahawks then.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So they're going to be okay, but everybody else in the division is going to be like awesome.
I think there's gonna be like this year for some reason. I think there's gonna be a bottleneck at some portion of the like going into the final week. I think there's gonna be a bottleneck of like a couple of teams, like 6 or 7, that are all on that same like number of wins and losses, and due to tiebreakers, the Rams will be like very early in the draft.
Uh-huh.
There's just a lot of good teams, and there's a lot of okay teams, which is a good thing. But there's also a
because of that though,
handful-
I do think that there's going to be like 4 or 5 teams that are just going to be in a fierce battle for that number 1 pick. Like, it's going to be like just them going at each other.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think there's going to be like 4 teams that are like viable choices for the first draft pick. And then there's going to be like 8 teams that are vying for from like 5 from pick 5 to pick like, whatever, that are all just like all in that same area, that it's going to come down to like tiebreakers and such.
Okay.
And the Rams are going to be in that pile of teams that are like, okay, not making the playoffs, but not like fundamentally tanking.
Sure.
All right. Nikki, your next hot take.
Speaking of the number 1 overall pick,
Okay.
the team that I think is going to be picking first in the 2025 NFL draft is the New Orleans Saints.
Ooh.
This team has nothing. Like, I challenge you to name one player on this team or one offensive player on this team who is anywhere near league average. Don't say Alvin Kamara, he's washed.
I don't even know who they're.
This is the end.
I was gonna say I don't know who their quarterback is, but then I just realized. Oh wait, no, Derek Carr is their quarterback, and I almost forgot he was the quarterback.
Yeah.
Alvin Kamara?
No, we said we already said that.
Yeah, he's washed. Like, he was good 3 years ago.
Right.
But he's been injured, and like Rashid Shaheed is like one of those receivers who will have like 120 yards a game like twice a year, and then like 12 yards every other game.
Yeah, they're kind of like a bare bones team looking at them.
Yeah, and not only are they a bare bones team, but like last year at the end of the season was like a seminal moment for them, where like Jameis Winston like scored a unnecessary touchdown against a division rival, and then he made Jameis apologize for that. He made a beloved player on that team like apologize for scoring on a division rival. That is the most spineless thing I have ever seen. I am still not over that. Like, I remember last year, like when we were doing our big winners and losers at the end of the season, I railed on Dennis Allen for that one, and I'm still not over it.
Oh, I got one.
So,
Chris
like,
Olave.
Oh, yeah, Olave. He's all right.
Yeah.
The fact that it took 5 minutes to remember him is telling, though.
So, there is a world and a possibility of having 3 teams with 0 wins.
3.
But
Wow.
it would involve the Saints and the Panthers getting 2 ties in the season.
Oof.
Yeah. Like, those Saints-Panthers games are going to be must-watch in all the wrong ways.
Yes.
But, like...
Which is also kind of why I'm like... This is actually one of the reasons why I was like, Carolina is going to be bad, but not, like, no wins bad.
Yeah.
Because I could see them beating... At least once beating the Saints. But I could also see them losing to the Saints once.
Sure. Like, I don't think they're going to go 0-16 or 0-17 just because that's like a once in a generation kind of level of bad. But I will say that this team has the best combination of bare bones roster and like spineless coach who the Saints have shown an unwillingness to fire, because they could have fired him at any point in the last 2 seasons and they didn't. So why should we expect them to do it now?
Okay.
Who is their coach?
Dennis Allen.
Ah.
Yeah. He took over for them after Sean Payton retired, and he's been ass. He has been badass, and not the good kind of badass.
Stinky ass.
Donkey ass.
Yeah.
All right.
I have come up with analogies for this that I will not repeat because it would get tiresome. But you get my point.
Yes.
Anyway, voice.
All right. Okay, let's move from a bad situation to a good situation. So, okay, let's go back to player predictions of how everything's going to turn out. My prediction for comeback player of the year, Nick Chubb. Yeah, I mean,
Oh yeah, on the Browns.
Yep, on the Browns. That is my Browns that's my Browns hot take. I think since he was taken out week 2 and we all heard the from the crowd regarding his injury.
That was gross.
Yeah. So after that horrific injury, he will. I mean, I think he will be back to form and he will pull off an AP with an insane rushing attack. Yeah, that is my bold prediction for the Browns.
Honestly, like that's the one player on the Browns that I want to see succeed.
All right.
So if they run every single play through Nick Chubb, he has 500 carries and runs for 3,000 yards. Perfect.
All right, Leah, your next take.
Okay. How about them Steelers? They're going to lose the division.
Sure.
They're going to lose their division, and that's the most notable thing they will do this year.
Yeah, it does feel like they're going to be a little bit anonymous this year. I feel like most of the stuff that we're going to talk about with the Steelers is going to be kind of the same cringy jokes that we made about Russell Wilson with the Broncos last year. Like those are just going to carry over.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of they're in that situation of they haven't really improved, and they've got a new they've got new stuff. And whenever you get they got the new coach, right? I'm not misremembering.
No, Tomlin's still there.
They got a new offensive coordinator.
Yeah, it's Arthur Smith though, so keep that shock collar on him.
I was gonna say, usually, I was gonna say if either with a new coach it's gonna be better or worse, but since it's still Tomlin, it's gonna get worse. Because Tomlin needs a new set of toys. And if he stays in Pittsburgh, he's not going to get that.
He needs what Andy Reid needed a couple years ago when he left Philly.
Yeah.
Right.
If you took Tomlin and put him on any other half decent team, they'd instantly get better overnight.
Mm-hmm.
But Pittsburgh needs
Pittsburgh
needs new. They need a new head coach. They need new coaching basically all round, and like a year or two of decent drafting, and they'll be like right back with everyone else in their division. It's just this year. I think this is the year that Tomlin goes from being like lucky to being unlucky, and
okay.
I think like 7-10 or something.
Ooh, first losing season.
A losing record.
It's the first one since 03?
Yes.
Okay, that's it. I think it's honestly a even bolder take. They'll actually have a losing season.
Well, they'd have to have like a losing season to lose their division because it's Cincinnati,
Ravens, and Browns. Yeah.
Yeah, who are all like very. Like they're good or better teams.
All right. Okay, we're on our last round. Almost on our last round. The second last one for the picks. So
Your turn.
Yes. All right. So Nikki, your second to last bold prediction.
All right, I got the Philadelphia Eagles, and I think that they are going to they've got to find a new identity. Because with Jason Kelsey retiring, and the tush push kind of being figured out, like they're gonna have to find a new identity, and I think they're gonna find that in their defense. I think they have a top 5 defense next year.
Hmm.
And because of that, I think that they win their division pretty easily.
Okay.
I I do think that uh, one of the teams in the NFC East is going to challenge them a little bit, but they'll still have their division locked up a couple weeks before the end of the season.
Okay.
But like they made a lot of good moves in the off season, like as on the offense and on the defense. So like let me pull up their draft. Philly, there you are. They got Quinion Mitchell
Mm.
and Cooper DeJean,
Cooper
white
DeJean.
cornerback. Anyone?
I wanted him so badly for the Bills.
I know, right? But then you wouldn't have a receiver. You could only have one.
They could have got him before with the safety. But
Wait, what?
because what did he go, like 40 something? If
No, the Bills got their safety at the end of the second, and Cooper went like 8th pick in the second. He went early second, so
yeah,
the Bills had only had one pick by then.
could have traded up.
So, yes, they traded up.
No, I said they could have traded
But-
up.
Oh yeah, they could have traded up. They'd have to give up a lot.
Yeah,
Like we're talking like maybe a future second or something.
yeah.
But they got Quinion Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, Jalix Hunt out of Houston Christian University, which I'm not entirely sure is a real college. And maybe the most exciting player, Jeremiah Trotter Jr.
Oh, I recognize that name.
Yeah, that's a name. So yeah, they loaded up on defense again, which is what they seem to do every year in the draft. And like I think that their young guys on defense are really going to blossom this year, and you're going to see a couple of new names in the all-pro discussion coming from like young Eagles players. And I think that that's going to make them like a super good defense, and like they won't need to like rely on Jalen Hurts getting pushed into the end zone.
Okay. All right. Now, we talked about we talked about playoffs a little while ago. So I'm gonna go over like who I think are gonna make the playoffs. So I already said that the Texans are gonna be the number 1 seed. Everything's gonna run through him. I say the Jets are gonna be winning their division over the Bills. Chiefs, I think it's pretty much a lock, like everyone said. And I think something's going to similar happen like last year with 3 teams in the NFC North winning. But the team that I have winning that 7th seed is the Indianapolis Colts. Like I think with a healthy Anthony Richardson and with some promising rookies, I think they actually are going to break through and make the playoffs.
Nice.
And not get swept by the Jaguars.
I think that is a good take.
Yep, and I mentioned that because that's the final game of the season. It's Jacksonville and the Colts. I have them like both at like 9-7, and so that is a winner. That is a winner take all game, and have the Colts winning.
Oh man, that's fun. But yeah, I think that Indy has a lot that can like go right for them, and I think that they can make that jump into the into the playoff caliber team. And if that happens, like Anthony Richardson, I don't know if he would be like up for any awards, but I could see him making like a Pro Bowl.
Yep. Plus, I'm excited to see Leatu Latu do damage.
Yeah. I kind of wanted the Bears to get him somehow. Like maybe if they like traded back and like kept Justin Fields, like they could have traded back and got Leatu Latu. But didn't happen.
Yeah. All right.
Oh well.
And now, Leah, your final hot take.
Thanks to the improvements of their wide receiver core, the Tennessee Titans will get a winning season.
It's a Christmas miracle.
It's a Christmas
Wow.
miracle. Considering they went 7-10 and 6-11 in the past 2 seasons.
Mm-hmm. But now, in your playoff outlook, would they end up making the playoffs?
They might make the wild card. It's hard to tell with the like I said, I think the wild card, that 6th, 7th seed, is gonna be fought over by a large number of teams.
Okay.
Like I said, I think there's gonna be a handful of teams that are not playing in the playoffs, not playing for a playoff spot at all, even in the last 3 weeks. But that last 3 weeks for the majority of the league is just gonna be scratching and clawing over each other just to get the 7th seed.
Yeah.
And I could see the Titans being kinda just in that group.
All right.
Or
That would
or I could
require
be
Zach
completely...
Levis to actually
Will Levis.
break out. Did I say Zach Levis?
Yes, you said Zach Levis.
Whoops. Will Levis.
There you go.
That dude.
But apparently, he out.
Who out?
Wait, Will Levis? No, he's
According- talking about?
According to the depth chart, he's questionable at the moment.
The season isn't for 4 months.
And
well,
We could bump that up to probable. I'm pretty sure in that time.
We got time. We have 4 months before technically 3 months before training camp starts.
day of training camp, Will Levis has blown out his knee.
I'm not seeing any news about him being hurt or anything.
Honestly, I think you're looking at old injury reports because the NFL
I'm looking at the depth charts.
Oh, okay. That's weird.
On where?
ESPN.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of which, they originally I hadn't double checked the depth chart for the Titans. I was going to talk about how now that they don't have Derrick Henry and their wide receiving room is kind of terrible, they're going to have a lot of trouble. And then I double checked their wide receiver room, and I was like, oh no, they've got some decent people now.
Oh yeah. It's his foot. Will Levis's foot. Questionable for the start of training camp.
Oh, okay. Well, that's time. There's time to fix that.
Yeah,
they've got Calvin Ridley, DeAndre Hopkins, Tyler Boyd, and Treylon Burks.
Yeah.
That's a halfway decent receiving core.
Plus you got
before the end of last season, it wasn't those guys. It was a very different lot.
Right. And,
so you can understand me thinking. Originally, I was going to be saying, "Oh yeah, they have a kind of terrible wide receiving core, and now they don't have Derrick Henry. What's their offense?" And then I realized, wait a minute, no, they did actually make moves to fix their wide receiver core.
Yep. And even if they don't, if Will Levis is ready to go, you got Mason Rudolph.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So, all right, we're on the final two hot takes. Nikki, your final hot take is?
It's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and sorry guys, to all the Baker fans out there, I think that they're gonna have problems.
Oh.
And I think a lot of them are going to stem from losing offensive coordinator. Why am I forgetting his name? He's the one who went to Carolina. Carolina Panthers head coach. Dave Canales.
Mm-hmm. Dave
Like
Canales.
I only wrote Canales in my notes, and I couldn't remember what his first name was. But yeah, so Baker Mayfield had a really good season last year. Was I think a finalist for Comeback Player of the Year.
Yep.
But this was also while he had Canales as his offensive coordinator. Now, for those who don't know, Canales, before he was the offensive coordinator in Tampa, was the quarterbacks coach in Seattle when Geno Smith had his breakout season. You see a pattern forming here?
Yes.
Like Canales leaves Seattle and Geno regresses a little. Canales leaves Tampa, and I see Baker regressing a little bit. I also see Bryce Young doing a lot better this year, but that's I didn't have Carolina, so womp womp. But yeah, and if Baker Mayfield regresses, then I think that we are going to see like Tampa Bay regress as a whole, because like their offense was built on like the quarterback just going crazy, and that worked when they had Tom Brady around. And when what's his face? When Baker was doing that last year, it worked as well. But like, if they're gonna have to find a new offensive coordinator, and like, if any more pressure is put on the head coach to do that sort of stuff, then that's gonna be a problem. So.
Okay. But is it enough to say, have like lose the division?
Considering, like, I do think Atlanta is going to win the division. I don't think they're going to be a 1 or a 2 seed, but I think that they do have enough to win the division. I also think the NFC South is like a bad division. So
yeah. It's fair enough.
Even if they regress and Tampa is like bad, they'll still probably be the second best team in the division, even if they have like a 6-11 record.
Okay. All right. Final hot take. I've been saving this, and it's of course regarding the Bengals. And I mentioned all three. I mentioned all three teams. The Bengals, Browns, and Ravens will go to the playoffs. But I have the Bengals retaking the division.
Oh.
Yes, with a healthy Burrow. I mean, yeah, I know they lost a couple people in free agency, but they did get a new offensive tackle to protect him. And honestly, I think like everything basically just surrounds Joe Burrow. So as long as he's healthy, I think they'll be okay. And with that, I think they'll really come through, and Bengals will finally break through, beat every team. I think I have them splitting the division, but they'll still end up winning the division because of their strength of schedule. So I think I have them like them and the Ravens go 12-5, but because the Bengals have the easier schedule, they end up with the division.
Nice. I think that the Bengals can do it too. Like we've talked about how like the Ravens are probably gonna experience some drop off. Like the Browns still have Deshaun as their quarterback, so they're not gonna be that impressive. And the Steelers are like in a weird transitional state. So yeah, I think that the division is wide open for the Bengals to take. Yeah. Good take.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for that take. Wow. I know this was only 2 videos, but we kind of blew past this. We actually got like everything done within like about an hour and a half or so.
Yeah. Pretty good.
Yeah. So so next time I have no idea what we're going to be doing.
Something else.
Yes, definitely something else. We'll let you know what we decide on. Maybe we'll do like last year we did like a tier list of like who's making the playoffs and whatnot. But I think we
Yeah, that could
actually
be fun.
yeah, I think we had an idea for. Oh, I think we had also an idea for like the goats of the league, the goats of all time for the league, and just go through what everyone's teams were.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
that was one idea, but I won't be able to participate in that.
Well, we could do it for football.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
I can do like each league's goat because that's easier, but doing like each individual team,
Okay.
no. I don't know the
Yeah.
teams well enough.
Fair enough. Alrighty.
Gotcha.
Okay. Well, until then, this is the Haymakers, and we will see you whenever.
Sometime.
At least for after training, because then we'll have an idea what the season's going to be like.
Yeah, exactly.